Alright, so here I am, taking this tape off, protective tape, so it ships nicely, no damage to the top, near the edge. Cool. Take that, place it to the side if you like. Alright, I'll start with the reso head first. Where the 2/4 on head, they come individually. Alright, so obviously the reso, clear head out of the two, the batter, coated. I like to match the logo to where the shield is, the SJC shield logo. So you kind of eye it right there in the middle. Cool. Both hoops are the same, you're good. You can place the hoop over the top, just like so. Line it up. You can line it up after once you start going. Now, I'm gonna have to get into the hardware package. Don't open it up too big, you don't want stuff to spill. There's a little hole in there to help. And we need to get the smaller of the T-rods. So I'll show you, there's two different sizes. This is a kick drum T-rod. These are the floor tom T-rods. Much smaller, already have the washers on. So you find these, and then you can either take them all out at once, put them on the table, easier. For the sake of time, I'm just gonna fish through, find them, and then you put them in, and then start finger tightening in a star pattern. So I'm gonna go across, find the lug, and there we go. Again, you can do this on a table. I like to just do this stuff sitting down. I've done it like this for years. Go to the next one next to that. Same thing. Make sure the washers haven't fallen off. You always want to have a washer on there. Generally, they will not. But just in case, always look to make sure there's a little washer right there. And we get this. So I'm gonna go through and do this. Probably gonna do this really cool fast forward feature in the video, and I'll catch up with you once I have all of them finger tightened, and then we'll get the drum key out and get a basic, tuning of the head. What I do is I put my hand in the middle, my fingers, basically two fingers. You notice all the wrinkles. To get the most basic tuning, you're gonna go around and try to just get the same amount of turn. Let's do 2 turns on each at first. And basically you just want the wrinkles to go away. So, like this. That one was we notice the wrinkles are coming out, flatter, but fresh head will take a bit. So I've now removed the wrinkles. You see, perfectly flat, beautiful reso head. Do the same thing for the batter. Again, I like to match the logo, SJC logo, to where the badge sits, which is right here. So you line it up, it's easy to get right over it. Boom. And do the same thing. Take your hoop, make sure it's evenly lined up right above where the T-rod will go through and enter the lug. Find the appropriate T-rods and then start the same process from finger tightening in a star pattern. Then you're gonna go through and just finger tighten across at the same time, like do like this. Make sure, boom, that. Finger tighten, not too much, you don't wanna hurt your fingers. All right, and then we're gonna do the same thing. Put your hand in the middle, see the wrinkles, and let's tune until we don't see wrinkles. Start with 2 turns each. Once you put your hand in the middle, it will loosen it a bit more, so we'll come back to like a finger tighten, and then you might have to do a little more than 2. Pay attention to how it feels. If one feels way tighter than the other, then you might want to start over or loosen appropriately. All right, so see the wrinkles, and we'll do a whole video on tuning, but this gets you set up without over tightening the head. You just want to get rid of the wrinkles in a star pattern, while holding your hand in the middle. So you'll see a couple more. So I'll do this. This side, a little bit. Cool. Boom. Here's your floor tom. Now I'll just do the legs really quick. They come in this bag. It's got tape on it. Pull it off, loosen it, stick it forever, and then yeah, you kind of just go like that. I like to do it. I like to go fast. All right. Now you loosen the bracket. I like to put it into the middle of the part with the little, ripples in it. There is the floor tom. What I'll do is I'll put the rack tom on top for now to make some room for the kick drum. 14 floor, 12 rack, 14-inch snare, and a 20-inch kick drum on this kit. All right, now next, the kick drum. All the rest of the parts you have in that bag are basically for the kick drum. The T-rods, the washers, and the claws. Kick drum's in here. Very similarly packaged to the floor tom. There's a little insert. Might as well remove that. Perfect. Put it over there for now. And then you can just try to pull it out without the bag. It's kind of hard though. There you go. Be careful holding it. You don't want to drop it. I'm gonna have to put it down to safely remove the bag. Kind of just rip it at that point. A lot easier. Same thing with the surrounding, styrofoam. Cool. We'll take that tape off. Oh, look at that. You can just go like that. Boom. There you go. And you can stick that back in its own bag. Long piece. So you're not losing anything. Keeping track of what we got. Alright. So now we'll finish this off. Got the kick hoops. Wait a minute. The last kick hoop is underneath everything. I remember I said that earlier. See? Doesn't go missing. So we got the last kick hoop. Got the nice tape on it. Keep it nice. Satin black. Super great. Alright. So we will do the reso and then the batter. And then I'll set the kit up using some Foundation Shadow Series hardware. And I'll show you what it looks like when you're all said and done. All right, so we're gonna do the kick drum. Before I move on, I just wanna go back to the floor tom that we did. So the reso head is gonna go on the side that is closer to the brackets, okay? Just in case. And then the batter head is on the side is up here, farther away from the brackets. On the kick drum, the reso head is gonna go on at the bottom of the badge, closer to the spurs, and the batter head is going to go on the top. So reso, batter. Use the badge as reference in the spurs. Cool. All right. Here we go. So I'm gonna first remove the head from the packaging. All right. Here is the batter head. Clear, just like you would expect. There you go. SJC logo up top. Cool. And we'll place it again. So if you're standing behind the kick, just like this would be, we'll do the logo obviously right at the top, in line with SJC's badge. Boom. Sitting nicely. All right. Either hoop is fine. They're both the same. You will notice on the hoops, there's a flatter edge on one side and on the other. I'm going to take the flatter edge, and that is going to sit like that. Boom. Nice. All right. Now you've got to take the claws, T-rods, and then this time we actually have to put the washers on. So I'm going to sit again. These are claws. These are your T-rods. Now they're missing the washers. They're all in the package. We just have to put them on. They're all in this their own little baggie. So be careful ripping it open. Do it slowly. That cool. I like to, kind of dump them out. My hand, put them in one area. I can just pull from them, and then we're good to go. Like I said, try to remove trash when you can so nothing gets missing. Look at everything though before so you don't throw anything out by accident. So washers go right on the T-rod like this against the top. And you'll take a claw, line the claw up nicely with the lug. Place the T-rod through, right into the lug. Make sure it's straight, that's super important. You don't want to like put any awkward pressure on your lugs, rods, hoops, the drum itself. And we're gonna barely finger tighten on these. So again, in a star pattern, washer goes on, and you can even actually just put the claw on. All right, guys, welcome back. So just like we tuned up and put the heads on the floor tom, I did the same thing. I put it on, I pressed in the middle, made sure, you know, saw the wrinkles, cross-tuned, tightened until they were gone. That gives you a nice base for your tune. Now let's do the same thing on the reso side. So note where your badge is. Grab the SJC logo. It's a head, pretty cool. Go, get out, fresh, clean. Alright. So, I like to just wipe the edges down just, you know, right before. You never know. Stuff is floating in the air. You want a clean edge when you put it on. Make sure it's super straight. Find your badge. So I like to actually stand above it so I see where the badge is and the spurs, and make sure that the logo looks like it's totally even to the ground and sitting straight. Go. Grab the last hoop. Get out. Just slide off the protective tape. Remember the flatter edge of the two. You'll see both two edges. One's rounded, one's super flat. Flat edge will sit downwards. Boom. All right. Now you've got the rest of your T-rods and washers and claws. And we'll do the same thing that we did on the other side. Washer goes on first, take a claw, through, and then we're going down, and then place it on, nice and straight, make sure it's super straight, and then finger tighten. Same thing in a cross pattern until you're all done, and then we'll grab the drum key and get this thing all tuned up. Yeah, it's done. So almost there. There's your kick drum. So now we've got everything together. These are all extra parts. So what you want to do, either get a new bag if you destroy the one you have. This one is still usable. So I'll put them in here. You can put the kick pedal pad on for the hoop if you would like. All right. Put that stuff in a safe place. Obviously, I'm just doing this right now. And now I'm gonna actually set up what the kit should look like. So if you were about to get on stage, I've got bare minimum hardware right now, but just enough to get this thing, you know, up, set up, so you can see what it looks like when all is said and done. So the last thing you will have to open then is your L-rod clamp. I like to use the top to poke a hole through, but then use your fingers, rip it all the way open. Cool. And then you got your L-rod. Boom. Just be careful. Don't do it over your drum set. Sometimes people rip these open and then it'll just fall out. This thing is decently heavy, so if it were to land on your drum set, it could hurt it. All right, here we go. Let's set up what the drum set will look like on a stage. We're using all Foundation Shadow Series hardware. So let's do this. Take the rack over here for now. We'll do the kick drum first. Put that over here. Here's Mike, chilling. All right, so here's your spurs. So the rubber on the spurs right here is gonna be all the way screwed down so the spikes aren't out and can hurt you. So you're gonna wanna go like this. I like to have just enough to get a little past where the actual spike part ends. So leave it like that. And then let's, put it to around right there for now. You're gonna have to match them on each side, but as a general placement, this is good. Easier to do it like this. And you can see, loosen it just like you would loosen anything else. Let's see, it's up there. All right. Make sure it's sitting nicely. It will notch, it will lock in. You don't want to strip anything. We'll do the same thing here. So you're essentially tightening it to just past where the spike ends so it can dig into the rug. All right, you're gonna place it like this. This rug has a nice little stopper. So you're gonna have to extend them with the drum key, like so. Boom. So we'll put that one here for now. And so kick drum, ready to go. Sweet. Move this stuff to the side. All right. We can put the throne wherever you want for now. Pedal, depending on what you have. Almost all pedals will have a little mechanism to loosen the clamp. We will place the pedal on. Just be careful. If you want to put the pad on that came with the package, feel free to do so. It will preserve the hoop finish. Some pedals have rubber padding already. Don't have to worry about it. Yeah, whatever makes you feel comfortable. Yeah, I always sometimes put a napkin there. Just, keep it nice, keep it fresh. This is your drum set, you want to take care of it. Put that there. Here's the Foundation Shadow Series snare stand. I believe it's already set on a 14-inch, so let's give it a shot. Always want to have the badge kind of facing out left. If you're on stage, you want to get those cool shots, you want to rep, SJC rep your drums. So there we go. But I'm going to adjust it a little bit. Right here. Boom. Sweet. There's your snare. Cool. Yeah, good. Floor tom, same thing. Badge outward, the vent inward. These are the vents that you can find on drums. But the badge should always kind of be an outward angle like so. Just make sure you don't, this is like something people always do. Sometimes they smack the kick drum with the floor tom by accident. Just be careful. But there you go. And the last part will be the rack tom. So, on this hardware, on the Shadow Series hardware, the optimal place to put the L-rod bracket is resting right above this joint right here. Also, little pointer, if you're hanging rack toms off of stands, you generally want to have a leg kind of underneath the rack tom so that you're putting a pressure down when you're hitting it, so it's sturdy. If you did it like this, it could tip. But just be careful because you're placing the leg under your kick. You don't want to hit it. All right. Here's the L-rod that comes with this kit. You got to loosen it up pretty evenly on both sides to be able to fit the tube of your stand in there. All right, so should be good at this setting. Let's give it a shot. Yep, nice. And you want to tighten it evenly, but you also want to be conscious of where your other wing nut is, because you don't want to hit it because then you can't spin it. So this barely right here, we're going to stop right there. All right, make sure it's super tight. I'm not over tightening it right now. Don't ever over tighten anything. It could strip, but you know, just want to be safe. So there. Cool. Now with this, with all of the Pathfinder that comes, at least the mount comes directly to the right of the badge if you're looking at it. You can move this if you want. So over here, all you gotta do is take all the T-rods out, remove the head, remove the hoop, the head, and then you pull this up, just take it off, and then place it wherever you'd like. But it should be good right about here. So loosen this up. This is also important when you're doing this. You wanna kind of place it on like this, give it some support. Don't let it hit the top of your kick. So I like to put my hand under, like so. Kind of turn it in a bit. You want that badge, so looks like right about here. It's good. I'm gonna lift it a bit. So, and then we'll do the adjusting afterwards, but that's pretty much it. So there you go. Once it's set up, you adjust it to wherever you like, you tune it to where you like. We'll do a video on tuning as well, but you know, you can move this around a bit. But that's the whole setup right there. Always email us with questions. You can email me directly, Zach, Z-A-C-H, at sjcdrums.com. But you're good to go. We'll do a tuning video as well. We'll do individual videos on hardware, on like the Shadow Pack and the Foundation X and Flatline, as well as other kits. But yeah, you've set up your drum set. You know, welcome to the family. If you're thinking about it, you know, thinking about getting an SJC kit, please email us. Email me, Zach at sjcdrums, Z-A-C-H, or Jason, J-A-S-O-N at sjcdrums.com. And we'll talk to you. We'll figure out what your needs are as a drummer, and we will get you set up just like this setup, you know. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon.